Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. I am Captain Logan. Joining me this evening, as always, is my chat moderator and lovely producer, DJ Martinez.
Good evening. How's everyone?
Hello, DJ. It's been so long.
It's been a while, man.
I missed you, man.
I missed you too.
It's only been a couple weeks, but it feels longer.
It feels like we took like a whole sabbatical, man.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so let me start off by saying that I've had to take a couple weeks off because I've been... Hi, Anime 2019. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I have had to take a little bit of time off because of lots of things going on in my life right now. The first big one was I got really sick and wasn't able to function at all for a few days. And the thing that made me sick is a thing I still have, and hopefully will not have very soon. I've got a kidney stone, and I still have a kidney stone. And I wasn't going to publicly mention what I had, but I didn't want people to think I was dying. And so I finally went ahead and just announced it, so that's why I'm telling you guys now. And at the same time, I also didn't want people to think I was lying, because... with this thing, the pain has been really intermittent, and it's less frequent than it was at the beginning, so I didn't want to come on camera and people be like, Captain Logan was making crap up. He's fine. Look at him. I feel fine right now, and DJ, I'm going on day 4, feeling no pain whatsoever. So the hope is that it's gone, is that like it broke up and it's already passed, but I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to go back and get scans and see if it's still there. So I don't mean to be all TMI with this, but I just wanted to be real up front and let everybody know what exactly was going on, because this has continued to linger, and I didn't want anybody to think that I was using it as an excuse to not put out rewinds. So, or whatever. Like, and then I'm just imagining people like thinking that I just really, really hate making that show. You know?
Yeah, I guess if you say that you're sick for like going on 3 weeks, people just assume you're lying or dying. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I finally had to be really upfront about it. So that's what's going on with that. I'm also selling my house and buying a new house, which we were starting the process of as the kidney stone happened, and I'm really lucky that I've been good enough to be able to move things when I've needed to move things. I've never been in such crippling pain when that stuff was going on that I couldn't do things. I've been really lucky, because I've had days where I just couldn't hardly get out of bed. I just couldn't hardly do anything. Anyway, I have changed my entire diet over this. No Mountain Dew ever again. And I like, you guys might not believe me. You heard it here first. I'm done with this stuff. Because that was the morning it happened before I started getting on medication. It's the worst pain I've ever had. You guys, you don't want a kidney stone. Like, if you drink soda, back off your intake if you drink more than one a day. Or even if you drink one a day, because it's not a thing you want to mess with. It sucks. It's the worst. People have compared it to like having labor, and like I wouldn't know, but I imagine that's what that's like. And I couldn't do it. Like, I went to the hospital, to the emergency room. I'd never been to the emergency room before. I couldn't do anything. I was just like rolling around, like running around. I was just like, I can't stay in one place. I'm screaming. It was very embarrassing. And when I I got on an IV, and they put me on medicine, and I was able to nap for a while. And when I woke up, I was in better spirits, and I was able to start joking again. And my natural state is just joke about everything. And so when the nurse asked me how I was like, well, I was a lot better. I'm a lot better now. And I just thought it would be fun this morning to get out of bed and come to the hospital and scream at people. And it wasn't as much fun as I thought it would be. That's what I told her. Our house has an offer that we have accepted. We are in the middle of closing now. It's a 30-day close. Thanks, buddy. And we are moving out November 4th if everything works out. And we just had the inspection, and it turned out pretty well. So we haven't had this house inspected yet. That's the next thing. But if that goes okay, we're probably golden. And we have accepted an offer on this house. DJ, I should be in Guinness for this. Our house, we put our house on the market at 9 a.m. on Friday. We had an offer by 8 p.m. that night.
Wow.
That was 10 grand over our asking price, and we took it.
That's awesome.
It could not have gone any better. I'm so excited about the new house. It's the house we wanted. We didn't think we could get our hands on it. We didn't have our house on the market when we found it. It took us a week to get it on the market after that, and we figured that there would be an offer by then. There wasn't. They took our offer. It's so exciting. It's a much bigger house than the one I'm in. It's got an extra level than this one, and the basement space. This is what you guys will care about. The space where I'll be operating out of and making the new Geekvolution Studios is more than twice the size of this area, and Whoa. It is all that will be in it except for some storage. This is the Bat Cave. That will be the Bat Bunker. It is an unfinished basement, and I'm not gonna fully finish it. I'm gonna leave it that way because it looks like the bunker from Dark Knight. And I'm gonna build around that, and I'm gonna be operating probably in front of a gray brick wall, and it looks really cool. And anyway, I'm so super excited about it. So tonight's goal, and if you guys don't care about this, don't feel the need to put in super chats. But for those of you that do, this is the thing we're doing for the goal tonight. I don't know if this is cool enough. I'm hoping it is. If we hit the $75 goal tonight, I'm gonna show you guys pictures of the new house. And just understand that we're not closed yet, so there is a possibility that we don't get it. It's a very small possibility. So it would really suck if, you know, we don't get the house and then I showed you guys pictures of this house. And I hope that it's not a thing that I'm not supposed to do. I think I'm okay on it. I think I can show you guys pictures. Like, I don't own the house, but there's nothing illegal about showing people pictures of a house you went to. So
no, I mean, there's probably pictures online on the
that's true.
Site.
Yeah, there wouldn't be anything stopping me from broadcasting that. It'd be stupid. Yeah. I don't know why you do that, but I don't think there would be anything stopping me. So that's the goal tonight. If you guys want to see that, it'll be pictures. I'll show you some pictures of the house itself, and then what I'm calling the bunker will look like. It looks like right now before I put stuff in it. DJ, I went and the first time I saw it was 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't able to take pictures that day, so. I thought in my head I had exaggerated how much space there is down there. I didn't. I got to go back yesterday, and it's a lot of space. It's going to be really cool.
That's awesome. I also have an unfinished basement. Maybe I'll start shooting from down there, too.
You should, yeah. We'll just live from the sewers. We should do a Ninja Turtle show.
Yeah. By the way, if you're wondering, I am also not dying. Even though I sound like death, I'm feeling great. I'm recovering from being sick as well. And
but not with anything major. You just had like a stomach flu or something yesterday, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna be a little raspy tonight. So enjoy the strange sounding moderator tonight.
I think DJ should do the AMSR this evening.
Only when I get sick. It's like a special occasion.
Good evening. Anyway, so. Tonight is an Ask Me Anything show. You guys can ask me absolutely anything you want me to talk about. I already see a lot of super chats. We're going to go ahead and get rolling here. Sorry for the lengthy preamble. What's going on, everybody? I see Kristen Ogden in the comments. I see Rainbow Color Warrior, Blue Dragon 5. Mutale is there. I know there's other people here, but those are the people that are talking. Carl Maxey is there. There's Vampire Diaries, Dan Liu, Donnie St. Pierre. Lots of folks here. Donnie St. Pierre says he's alive. Yeah, for the time being. Before we get into stuff, the other thing I wanted to mention, I just remember this, is because I have so much going on with the move and stuff, I've never tried to sell and buy a house before. There's so much extra paperwork. And the nice thing is most of it is digital now, but it just seems like every couple hours there's some other form I've got to sign. And like something else in the house I didn't know that I was going to have to do, and like other things to, you know, box up and put away and stuff. So I'm going to do as much channel stuff as I'm able to until I get to a place where I say I'm too busy. I've just got to take another short hiatus. So I will keep everybody posted if I decide I need to shut things down completely for a little while. At the moment, that's not my plan, but it could happen. So everybody just bear with me if you would. When we get into the house in November, I'm going to need a couple weeks, or at least a week to get set up and to get the internet going and all of that. Before that happens, some of it's going to depend on my health, and some of it's going to depend on moving, just how much I'm able to make. So I'm going to do what I can. A couple of movies coming out that I want to try to do how I felt about, if at all possible. The Breaking Bad movie comes out this week, Friday, and I'm going to wait to see it until Sunday because I'm going to go to the theater. And so it will already have dropped on Netflix, but I want to see it on the big screen, so I'm going to go to the Alamo Draft House on Sunday and see it, and I might do a review on that, and I'm also considering doing a review on Gemini Man. Wasn't sure if I was going to see that, but I'm starting to see good reviews, and I'm more curious about it, so I don't know if anybody's going with me, but I will probably rewrite that, at least on my own. So there's stuff coming out, and other things I want to do, and then I don't want to promise rewinds until I get into the new house. So I've got one that's already audio recorded that I may go ahead and edit if I've got time, but I don't know if I will, so I don't want to promise that yet. Regular rewinds again once I get up and running in the bunker. Okay, is everybody ready? Is everybody ready to get started? 10 minutes
I am.
After the... I'm sorry, DJ, I really apologize. He's like, for the love of God, stop talking.
No, take it away, man. It's been a while. I've got lots of questions, though, so I can speed through them.
One of these days where it says, ask me anything, I'm just going to replace that with, for the love of God, stop talking.
That's just the name. That's the theme that week?
The theme that week. All right, let's go ahead and start chatting with you guys. So anything you guys want to talk about is totally fair game. I have not been keeping up as hard as I sometimes do, so there may be things that come up that I just haven't gotten around to. But if you guys want to talk about new stuff, you want to talk about sci-fi stuff, Star Trek stuff, superhero stuff, whatever you want to talk about, bring it up. Let's do it. Here we go. DJ, you want to start pre-written or you want to start super chats?
We got quite a bit of super chats, so let me get a couple of those out of the way real quick.
All right, here we go.
First one's from David Crabtree. He says, just wanted to give you guys a quick shout out about to leave work. I'll be listening for the 30-minute drive home. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. It's interesting to know if he's listening right now or if that 30 minutes starts like 10 minutes from now.
I don't know. Let us know. We're waiting with bated breath. Wakes gives...
I just thought it was really interesting.
He says, howdy, boys. How's it hanging tonight? What was for lunch/dinner tonight? Really, really weighty questions to start the evening off tonight.
No, I appreciate the softballs this evening, guys. I've I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I've done it. 2 weeks, and it's like, what buttons am I supposed to push? So DJ, before we even got started, thought that I was calling him incompetent. Because I was like telling him how to do his job. I was like, DJ, do you have any questions? He's like, I know I need questions, Cap. I know that's what I'm supposed to do, buddy.
No, just a friendly reminder in case I was, no.
For lunch today, I had, why are we talking about this? I had leftover chicken fried rice, and for dinner, I had tacos. Homemade tacos. That's what I had. That's what I had today. Yeah. What did you have for lunch and dinner?
Oh, I'm never interesting with food. I eat the same exact thing every single day. So I literally eat just chicken and rice and vegetables for pretty much every meal.
But like now you've answered that for the end of time. Really, every time somebody asks that.
You never have to ask me that again.
I also meant to mention this earlier. And guys, I hope I'm not coming off braggy about stuff tonight. It's just some stuff's going really well for me right now besides the kidney stone. It's like I feel like I'm dying sometimes, but other than that, things are great. So I mentioned earlier that I've changed my diet completely. What I did not tell you is in the last 2 weeks I've lost 15 pounds. And that started with a week of not really being able to eat anything. And so it wasn't a good place to be losing weight, but now I'm doing it on purpose. So So it's good. I'm eating a lot better. I'm feeling way healthier. Certain entire things I've cut out of my diet, and I'm not as restrictive as DJ is with his diet, but I am eating a little bit more like you right now, DJ. A lot of vegetables, fantastic. A lot less meat, a lot more chicken, awesome. A lot less beef, that kind of thing. Almost no dairy. I've cut dairy out almost entirely, and I don't eat as much bread as I used to, but still a little bit of bread. You gotta get some greens in there.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. We'll have to talk about that sometime. That's really interesting to me.
We should, yeah. I know how to do this. I've done it 3 times. I've got this down to a science. It's just a matter. it's just a matter of having the willpower to do it.
Yeah, that's the hard part. All right, let's get to some pre-written.
Thanks for the kind words, everybody. I'm sorry we haven't talked about anything geeky at all yet.
Here we go. I don't know if you can talk about this, but this is definitely geeky. Anime 2019 says, have you watched the Batwoman pilot? If so, what do you think of Batwoman and Alice?
Okay, so I know everybody's going to expect me to say no, and I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did. I just didn't want to. Yeah, begrudgingly I did. I did go ahead and watch
He can't help himself.
Well, I got a lot of requests for it, and I don't know if I'm going to do a full-blown review on it. I'm talking to Dan's News about maybe covering it on Batmosphere when we do the next Batmosphere. So there won't be a how I felt about probably, but we might cover it on Batmosphere. But I'll talk about it for briefly here for a minute. So I expected to hate it. and I didn't, and it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's for CW aesthetically, it looks fine. It's a really good Batcave.
Cool.
I'm really happy with their set on that. It looks really cool. I gotta say, it kind of scratched some itches for me, to be honest with you. I actually am probably gonna watch week to week 2 or 3 more and see if it's good enough to keep going with it, at least for now. It's got a lot of the CW staples. It's got a lot of typical stuff. It's kind of predictable. I don't like the relationship with Batwoman and her father yet, and not just because it's not like comics, but just because he's kind of a little too much like a really generic version of Lance from Arrow, for Laurel's dad. It's just that real typical, like, I don't want you to be a crime fighter because I don't want, because you know, I'm worried about your safety and all that. I'm really sick of that, as the only, like, the only plot we can do with these shows, the only, tension between characters we can come up with for these shows. I'm getting a little bit tired of that. She's great. Kate Kane, and I thought that actress was a good pick in the first place, and she was fine in the crossover last year. But I think she's really good. I think she's gonna carry that show really well. The itch it scratched for me was tonally, it feels in places a little bit like the old Birds of Prey show, and I love that show, and it's kind of scratching that itch for me. And like, we've never had like an actual like serious Batman show, as close as we've ever had to that, and I was appreciating that more than I thought I would. Again, tonally, they're kind of nailing a Batman show. It's all right. So like, I'm not super impressed with the storytelling yet, but the trappings of it I'm really digging. And I also expected it to be really pandery, especially from in just like patting itself on the back about like how progressive it is, and like making too big of a deal out of its like feminist ideas and stuff. And based on all of its advertising, it really looked like it was going to do that. The line I complained about from the trailer is the only line that even remotely does that, and in context I have a slightly different read on it now. And so, like, I'm very surprised I'm saying that, but that wasn't, she's not a man-hater, there's none of that going on. The whole, like, the suit will be perfect when it's made to fit a woman thing reads in context to me, and maybe I'm giving it too much credit, I don't know, reads in context to me a little bit more like, she is she's a lesbian and just appreciates the female form more. That's how I read it. That suit will look hot because I'm into women. That's how it read to me. And I don't know. I didn't feel unwelcome watching it. I sometimes have that with those shows. And you might get there. Supergirl has that, but so far this doesn't. It's also interesting that it has no references whatsoever to any of the rest of the Arrowverse. We are 8 seasons into Arrow, and this feels like a completely other thing, set completely in its own world, which continues to make me wonder why in the world we didn't just make it its own universe in the first place, because we have a multiverse, but it has to be in the Arrowverse, even though it feels a little bit more stylized and a little more heightened. I guess I'm saying that just because, like, there are certain things that you expect to see in a Gotham City, and that makes it feel a little bit more heightened. These people always wanted to make a Batman show. You could tell from the beginning. Yeah, Jade Nova, right? Yeah, 8. They're finally ending it at 8 because that's a nice round number. But you can tell these guys always wanted to make a Batman show from the beginning of Arrow. That show was basically a Batman, but they called him Oliver Queen, and now they get to make that show. And I think for them, it's going to be good to have a kind of darker, more ground level show when they lose Arrow. I think that's part of the reason that they probably wanted the show. And it's kind of fun that they have a Batman thing and a Superman thing at the same time, and they're going to cross them and do World's Finest stuff. And I also hope that some of the Batman villains or Batman-esque villains that they had in Arrow cross into this show, and that we get to see a Batman-type character fight them, because Oliver or Arrow just wanted to be a Batman show, and it used some of those characters. So like, I want her to go up against Clock King because I love their Clock King, and I want her to go up against Ra's al Ghul. even though, you know, that whole thing was really convoluted. But well, I guess he's dead. But like the League of Assassins, whoever's running them now, if it's Nissa or whoever it is. Anyway, I guess I just reviewed that, but
very briefly,
those are my thoughts at the moment. It's better than I expected it to be. It's not. If you compare it to the Greg Rucka comics, it's just not fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to be that, and you know that, it being on the CW, so not expecting that. Yeah, it's okay. I liked it enough to watch another one. And I appreciate the fact that she doesn't have her full costume right away. Because I was afraid, like he makes her that suit, and then, like, the next day she goes out and wears it, and I'm like, it's going to be, like, you know, fully figured out in 12 hours, and it's not. It's, like, a kind of a proto-suit. They at least haven't got the red on it yet. So that's kind of cool. But, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would. Oh, and the villain, Alice, is played by, I can't remember her name, is played by the actress who played Dinah in Birds of Prey, which is really classy casting. Cool. And I appreciate that a lot. And I didn't love her in that show. She's grown as an actress. She's better in this. And I met her in person, and she's a super nice lady. It's really cool to see her get work in a Batman thing again. So anyway, yeah. Am I way more positive than anybody expected me to be? I feel like I'm gonna keep watching it. Isn't that crazy?
No, that's great, man. I'm glad to hear it's pretty fun. Before we get away from Batman, I have to give a shout out, if I can, to awesome guy Victor Herman in the SSSS Facebook group. He recently bought the complete Batman the Animated Series Blu-ray. Came with the digital copy, and he sent me the digital copy code, so I now have every episode of that show.
Oh, wow, that was nice of him.
That was super cool, and I've never seen any of that show. So
and you don't subscribe to DC Universe because you're not a DC guy, so
yeah. So I wouldn't have seen that without him. So thanks a lot, Victor.
Wow, really what a nice guy. That was super cool. And that's just required viewing. You got to do that at some point. I know you're not a Batman guy, but the fact that you haven't seen much of that show is probably partly why you're not a Batman guy.
Yeah. And he just posted in the group like, "Hey, does anyone want this?" And I just happened to be the first one that responded. So that was really lucky. Cause
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get to some super chats because we have a bunch piling up here.
Absolutely.
We're already at 55. So
20 thanks, away from the goal. I took a long time on that, and that was one of the main things I figured I'd talk about tonight. So nobody panic. I'll be shorter on at least 2 or 3 other things. All right, go ahead.
This is a quick, easy one. Webmaster47 super chat. When are the Telltale playthroughs coming back?
Not until I move into a new place, and hopefully my internet in the area where I had that system is better then. I will finish that, I just can't do it right now. And actually my PS4 is packed away at the moment, so I really can't do it right now. But we had to really pack up a lot in order to get the house show ready. I know where it is, I can go get it, but it is packed away right now.
Wait, so did you have to show them the Batcave? Obviously.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, so I it's really funny. If you saw the room right now, it's bare except for what's behind me. Like I left my set basically. So like Eric and I can still shoot stuff here. I left the Feelin' It signs out. Like this is all still here, but everything else is empty now.
Okay, that's cool.
I have 3 boxes of Spawn Year props. I didn't realize that there was that much, but there is.
We'll put that in the bunker.
That's including the suit. You know what I'm considering doing in the bunker, by the way? I'm thinking about getting full-size mannequins and putting the Spawn suit on one and the Asbat suit on the other one.
Oh, that's cool. Like in the background in the Batcave or the Power Rangers.
That would be so freaking cool. Yeah. it wouldn't be in glass probably. I don't know if I want to shell out the money to make that happen, but at least on mannequins.
Yeah, I don't know where you buy big glass tubes from.
No, I'm pretty sure that's custom. I'm pretty sure Alfred or Bruce made those. All right, what else, guys? Ooh, can I answer one that I just saw? Can I? It's my show. Is that all right with you? Matale, would you become a talk show host? Yes, absolutely. That would probably be my second dream job, at least like in front of a camera, next to game show host. It's like game show host and then talk show host. And I mean, I feel like I sort of, in a small scale, do that job already with stuff like this. But as far as like, interviewing guests and stuff, I'd love to do more of that. And I have considered trying to get guests on this show and doing more of that kind of thing. But getting people remotely to commit to like specifically the live time that you do and make sure they actually show up can be very, very difficult. But a lot of you guys know I've done a lot of interviews, and I love doing that, and I miss it. And so yeah, absolutely, I would.
Yeah. All right, we got a super chat from the Vampire Diaries. Thoughts on Ms. Marvel in the Avengers game?
I don't have any thoughts. I heard she was in it. I've not looked at anything beyond that, so I don't. I guess I was surprised by that because it looked like it was pretty much just the main six. But it looks like the story's going to revolve around her a lot. And I guess now that we know that, it makes sense because like I guess half the team or more gets taken out. So, you know, it's going to have other characters. I guess it's funny, I always say this. I have no thoughts, and then thoughts happen. I have no thoughts.
Ding.
That's my preamble to my thoughts. But it's going to be interesting when Miss Marvel finally shows up in cuz she's supposed to be in one of the Netflix shows or something, right?
I don't know.
I feel like we heard that that there's plans for her somewhere in live action. I'm pretty sure. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong about that. But anyway, this is gonna be one of those weird things, right, where you have a thing that is very inspired by MCU that is introducing a character that's not. What did I say? Disney Plus. What did I say?
I don't know.
Did I say something else? Anyway, I thought she was supposed to be in a Disney Plus show, but anyway, I forget what I said. But I thought, but yeah, so she's supposed to get one of those. So this could be one of those weird things where we have a thing that's very MCU inspired, that's going to introduce a character before we see her in MCU, and then you'll go back to this game and like compare them and see like how different this character is to the one that they actually did in MCU, even though this is like a very MCU type thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They announced that when they brought up. Oh, I said
yeah.
Netflix is what I said. And Moon Knight. Yeah.
Okay, cool. She could be a cool like eyes in character. Like, did you ever play the first X-Men Legends game where Magma was like the female protagonist? She was just joining the X-Men.
I don't even remember that.
The first mission was going out to find her, and then you brought her back to the mansion, and it was really cool.
That is cool.
All right, we have another super chat from Bella AC. Random, but have you all ever played Truth or Dare at a party and regretted the dare later on? Rock on, nerds, he says.
The questions are random this evening. Yeah, so yes, I mean when I was in high school, absolutely I did. I don't think I ever did anything like super crazy. Everybody's done this, right? I don't think well, DJ lives a real sheltered life, but I'm just kidding. Played Spin the Bottle, that kind of thing. Those things came up at weird random parties I would go to. I didn't go to wild parties. I never went to anything with drugs. I don't think I ever went to more than one or two things that had alcohol when I was in high school, and I never partook. But when I think the craziest thing I ever had to do on a dare was just like kiss a girl. I think that's probably the craziest thing I did.
I bet I didn't regret. I don't think you would regret that.
I didn't regret that. No, it was an attractive girl, and it was it was a friend of mine. This is a little weird because it was a friend of mine, but like but she was nice looking, and yeah, it was a fine, and it wasn't like a long kiss. Although I think the dare was specifically like a certain amount of time. I think it was like 10 seconds, so you have to kiss her for 10 seconds. I'm like, all right, if she's cool with it, and she was. So anyway.
All right, guys.
No, Mutale, I've never played Russian roulette.
I have, though.
Except for with my kidney stuff.
Such a weird show tonight.
I only say that because it came down to wait to lose it on its own or get surgery, and I opted to wait, and I'm starting to wish that I had just gone ahead and done the surgery. But anyway.
Yeah, it's partially my fault. What are your thoughts on DC making a Superman Red Sun animated movie from 5590ERS?
Mutali, I think it was my first kiss, actually. It's very personal.
Oh,
this
wow.
evening. It's not too personal, though. I don't mind telling you about that. That's cool. What is the craziest thing you did in or right after high school, DJ?
Oh, I'll have to think about that. I have no idea.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Unless it's too
Red
personal. Sun. Okay, so Red Sun, is inevitable. That's the thing I always thought would get an animated movie at some point, and is one of those things that is like already rough and adult enough that it makes sense to get that treatment because those things are always PG-13 or rated R-esque, and they won't have to try too hard to make it feel like a thing that's for adults and to like have to cram in, swearing and things. What's up?
Sorry, Dan Liu said, did she like it?
Okay, I'm done with that line of thing. Okay, I I kind of expected this evening. It's been 2 weeks since we've been on. Like, this is kind of the show I expected. Anyway, yeah, Red Sun is a perfectly reasonable thing to adapt in 80 minutes. I'm kind of glad that is happening, but I'm also not surprised at all. So, yeah.
What are your guys' favorite high concept films? Oh, there we go. There's something deep for you.
Yeah, sure.
That's from Utale.
Dark City comes to mind. It's hard to mention things I've never mentioned before, right? Like, you guys know every movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, pretty much. I really like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't think.
Yeah. I don't talk about it much because I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I need to go back to it at some point. So I can't talk about 2001, intellectually at all. Yeah, but other things. I mean, I enjoy The Shining. I don't understand that movie by the end, but I like it. There's a lot of things I like about that movie.
High concept is such a broad.
It's pretty broad, yeah. Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind comes to mind. That's a high concept film. Donnie Darko is a real high concept film, but I don't love that movie.
That's a real put you on the spot.
Obviously, The Matrix counts. I mean, it's hard not to mention things I've talked about 1,000 times.
Yeah. Still haven't seen The Matrix. Cap's gonna force me to see that someday.
You got it, man. You probably won't appreciate it at all after all the hype for all these years. I'm just like, I don't know why that was important. I don't know why I had to watch that. But it's my favorite movie.
Oh, really?
I'll watch your favorite movie. Oh, but I probably have.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too much of a... No, actually, we talked about what I think is my favorite movie before, and you haven't seen it. It's like a little indie film called The Way, Way Back.
Well, we're going to have to do He Made Me Watches. That's all there is to it.
We should. If you ever come here, man, we're just going to be like shooting videos for a week.
Yeah. I need to make sure I'm there more than a couple days. Sorry, what?
No, I was going to say we finally can do that Willy Wonka commentary.
Yes. Not that we have to do that in person necessarily, but yeah.
No, yeah, it'll be fun.
Somebody... The Welder Rises.
Why would people are saying I should do the Matrix commentary? I would have no insights.
Eric and I are actually going to do a Matrix commentary in the not too distant future. That has been requested, and Eric and I have been talking about a Matrix commentary forever.
Awesome.
I want to thank people, by the way, for regularly requesting things I was going to do anyway. That's really, really nice of folks. Mutale wants to know if I'm going to see Dr. Sleep. I'm on the fence about it. That is a weird project. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of want to finish the book before I see it. Eric has finished the book. It is a difficult thing to even talk about without ruining things from that book and from The Shining, but the director describes it as a sequel to both The Shining film and the book, which sounds impossible to me, partly because what happens to the hotel is different in each of them. And I don't know how that works. Also, it looks like a horror film, and the Dr. Sleep book is decidedly not really a horror book. But that's what we always do with Stephen King stuff that's not actually horror stuff, which drives me up the wall. And the reason that the 11/22/63 miniseries was kind of garbage.
Hot take.
Yeah. That's not controversial. I think a lot of people agree with that. And I say garbage based on 4 out of 8 episodes, so maybe it got better, but that first half was awful. And I may not have disliked it as much if I wasn't familiar with the material, but I really disliked that. Anyway.
That's weird. Yeah, that's kind of like the Psycho 2 book being written completely as like a critique of the Psycho movie because he hated it so much, but then he still used like things that were different from the first Psycho movie as canon with his book instead of his first book. It was really weird. Have you ever read that book?
No, I haven't. You've told me about it.
It's really weird.
But with Dr. Sleep, obviously a lot of the reason that's happening is because they're afraid they can't market that movie without iconography from the film.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot of that stuff that has nothing to do with the book at all. And the most recent trailer shows like all the major set pieces from The Shining. None of that is in Dr. Sleep.
But is it also going to be a sequel to Ready Player One?
Probably not.
Oh.
That is my favorite thing in Ready Player One. It's so great when they go to the Shining House. Or the hotel. It's fantastic. that is a movie that is better than it has any right to be.
All right, we have so many super chats. I'm gonna start cracking on these.
Have we done Annie pre-written yet?
That was, yeah.
Oh, it was.
That
Okay,
was.
sweet. I
The
just want
last
to make sure that
couple
we're
were
not
free
totally shafting that, but we do have a lot of super chats.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, the last super chat we did was the truth or dare question. So, all right, Cody Barron super chat. What superhero movie is 2021 will be the biggest at the box office? Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi, Batman, Suicide Squad 2, or Thor 4? My goodness.
The first thing I want to say is thank you for the list.
Yeah,
because I was not going to remember everything. My impulsive answer is Batman. Because it's been so long since we've had a standalone Batman film. I think a lot of people are going to go to that just because Pattinson is such an offbeat choice, and they're going to be so curious about that. I think a lot of people who like Joker are going to go to that because it's another standalone period piece thing. I think Joker helps that movie a lot. And potentially, I mean, people are mixed on that, so maybe not. I don't think anybody's gonna not see Batman that would because of Joker. I think there are people who might go see it that wouldn't have because of Joker, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah. But yeah, I think that Spider-Man 3 I think will do as well as the last one did. And weirdly, I think it will make more money than it might have just because of the reverse news on that with Sony and Marvel getting back in bed together.
It was all a big scheme the whole time.
Yeah, they got that strikes me as like a couple that gets separated for like a month and then it's like, no, we can work it out, and then they put things back together. Remind me the other things in that list. The Thor sequel I don't think will do bigger than Batman. It'll do fine, but I don't think it'll be the biggest guns out of that list. What else was there?
Suicide Squad 2, Doctor Strange 2, and Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Shang-Chi is right. Shang-Chi's a real blank slate. Who knows how that does? Doctor Strange I think will do better than the first one did. But I don't think any Marvel movie will beat Batman, because I think everyone would be too curious about that.
Yeah, and I can't even believe this. Joker, in the first 3 days, beat Spider-Man: Far From Home, which is insane. That little $50 million indie movie beat Spider-Man. So I mean, Batman's just huge, and Batman's not even in that movie.
So I want to say something that might blow your mind, DJ. Or maybe you thought of this and you're like, yeah, duh, everyone knows this, but. We have had movies with Batman in them, but this will be the first standalone Batman movie that's not also sold with somebody else's name in it in 9 years, which is 2 years longer than the distance between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins, which kind of blows my mind. So like, we've had other things. What was that? What did I say?
7 years. Dark Knight Rises was 2012.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess so it's about or am I reversed? Was it 9 years and 7 years? Okay, but it's a long time. That's all I'm saying.
No, it definitely is. No, you're right. It was 97 to 2005, so 8 years.
Yeah, so real close. Yeah,
about the same.
I had not had that thought until just now, so I was doing the math while you were talking, and I mixed it up. But yeah. So isn't that interesting? That's kind of interesting. But it's not exactly the same thing because we've had movies with Batman in them, and we've had things that are peripherally related to Batman. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're in this period. I've talked about this, but we're in this period right now with a bunch of like not Batman things set in Batman's universe, just so much of it, to the point where it's gonna be a while on Batmosphere before we probably review anything that actually has Batman in it, right? Because like we did Alfred, and then we might do Batwoman next time, and we're not gonna do Joker because I did a like hour-long spoiler cast on that with Eric, but like just all these things that I've been having to review lately, and like we're gonna have that Harley Quinn movie that is called Birds of Prey for some reason in February. I hope I'm wrong about that, but that's what it looks like right now. Harley Quinn's getting her own animated series. You got Titans on right now, which has had Batman in it, I think. Yeah, just where are you, Batman? Where's Batman? He left. It's just like Batwoman and Birds of Prey, the TV show. He left Gotham, and he's not coming back. And until 2021, that's when he's coming back.
All right, I got to take a quick break here because we are at 71 already.
Wow,
$4 away from the goal.
That's wild. I thought you were going to say you needed to go to the restroom.
No. I haven't done that yet on the show, but that would be a good time to do it, I guess. All right.
We hit the goal. Peace, I'm out.
I won't give any explanation, though. I'll just leave. All right, Christian.
That you have done before.
That I have, but that was an emergency.
At least on Morphin Mania, you've done that. I just look up and he's gone, and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta talk about this umpteenth putty fight all by myself.
We gotta get back to that too. There's so much stuff.
We sure do.
All right. Christian Ogden asks in a super chat, 3 live-action DC movies in a row that are overall liked by fans and critics. Yeah. Can we finally officially say DC is back?
Well, 3 does a pattern make, not the strongest pattern, and Joker is not a DCEU thing, even though we're all sort of acting like that's dead now, but that still feels a little up in the air. I don't care what they said, because there's, continuity connections still in a lot of places, but I digress. There's not as much reason to assume badness, of course. I don't look at a thing and go, oh, it's DC, so it must be terrible. Of course, I'm not doing that. Admittedly, I did sort of do that with Wonder Woman, where I was like, well, with the track record they've had, I don't expect anything from this movie. I'm not saying I walked in and went, this is going to be garbage. I was hoping it wouldn't, but there was every possibility, and then it was great, and I was like, oh, wow, that was weird, and it was like, punched me in the face with how great it was, and I was like, that's weird. And then, but yeah, I didn't walk into Joker going, well, this is going to be, this is going to be a hot mess. I did go into Joker going, I don't care about a Joker origin film, and walked out liking it okay, which was... like giving it an A+ in my book, because that was, I think, the most it could have achieved for me is, oh wow, that didn't waste my time. Cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm not expecting anything from Harley Quinn, or at least I'm not expecting that to be for me. That actually could be an okay movie. It could just not be what I want. But it's being advertised really weird. But then I had issues with Joker trailers, where I was expecting that to be the most stereotypical thing ever, and just based on trailers, and it wasn't. So I always say, trailers are not there to tell you what's in the movie. They're there to try to get you to go. And sometimes, because I know that, they do the opposite for me.
Well, they're not there to get necessarily you to go. They're there to get the largest number of people to go that they can. So they have to market. They
advertise to the guy that makes Superhero Rewind. That idiot's going. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. He's going. Eric put out a list the other day on the Secret Society of movies he's not going to go to, not because he boycotts things. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because it's interesting, and I really
didn't see that list.
I love what he had to say about this. I don't think he'd mind me mentioning this. Eric I complimented him privately about this. I was like, good on you for making that post.
You just gave him an applause when he came down to the basement.
I did. I sure did. He was like, what the hell are you clapping about? On the Secret Society, he said, and I think, I don't remember if it was a full-on post or if it was response to somebody. Somebody asked Eric about boycotting things, because he had said he wasn't going to go to Star Wars, and there were a couple other things he said he's not going to go to. And he said, look, there's a distinction. He says, I'm not boycotting things. He says, if people I trust tell me the next Star Wars movie is good, I'll go see it, or great. He needs that movie to be great, or he doesn't want to see it. That's his prerogative, though. Not saying, because I hated Last Jedi, I won't have anything to do with that franchise anymore. He's saying, I'm not interested. And they're not entitled to my money. They're not entitled to my time. And if I am not interested, I shouldn't have to go. So there's a difference between boycotting a thing and no matter what it is, I'm not going to go, and saying, right now, I'm not intrigued. I'm not interested. So he's not going to go to Birds of Prey unless somebody tells him it's great. He's not going to go to Star Wars. He's not going to see Thor 4. He's not going to see sequels to things he didn't like. And I respect that greatly, and I appreciated the fact that he made that distinction, that choosing with your wallet to not see a thing that you're not interested in, that is not grabbing you with its advertising or with its concept or whatever, is not the same thing as boycotting something. And I think, this is me talking now, that to say that it is to say that if you are a fan of a thing, you must support it no matter what it is. And that that giant company is entitled to your money, and I don't think it is. And I think that's a crazy thing to say.
I 100% agree. I'm not gonna see Joker. I don't have anything against it. It just doesn't look like something that's not for me. So yeah. I 100% agree.
You're not boycotting.
You don't have to see movies just because.
You don't never see Batman things just because you're not a Batman fan. But you don't that doesn't immediately appeal to you. And those kinds of you don't want to see a Joker movie that's like Taxi Driver. That's not your thing.
Yeah, I've only heard that it's super disturbing and sits with you for days, and I'm just I don't really want to sit through that. But that's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but
and that's what I liked about it. But that's fair.
We don't have to see everything. I saw 3 Dark Knight movies.
Ooh, I want to answer this. Dan Liu, Cap, do you think Hamlet is Shakespeare's best play? I was just talking Shakespeare with my wife last night. It's up there. It's in the top 3 for me. I like Henry IV a lot, and I like, boy, it's been a while. Is it Richard II? And I also like The Tempest a lot, but it's been a long time since I read that. I'm not a huge fan of really any of the comedies. I mean, like, Much Ado About Nothing is fine. I'm just not like a huge... I'm just not a huge fan of, like, of any of those. And especially the mistaken identity comedies. Like, that's never done anything for me. It's important for literature, but it just doesn't entertain me like it does other people. But anyway.
What was that one that Connor reviewed on Who Reviews the Reviewers that was really crass? That was a Shakespeare thing?
I don't remember. I forget.
It was one of his lesser-known things, but it was interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know about
I can't remember now.
We are at 73, so $2 away.
Cool.
We're so close.
I'm just going to reach into my wallet. Thanks, everybody. We sure appreciate it. And I want to mention, especially thanks a ton tonight, because I've been off a couple of weeks, and this really helps us out a whole lot. Like, I'm in the middle of a move. I'm about to have to buy a microphone because this thing keeps going out on me. Have we had that happen on the show yet, where it mutes itself?
Maybe once, but it was real quick.
I had a Patreon show last night where it did it every like 5 or 10 minutes. It just kept muting on me, and it was driving me crazy, and everybody thought it was really funny. And I was like, "Cat, buy a microphone." So anyway, I will probably go out tomorrow and finally get a microphone. So I want to thank everybody for helping me out with the channel expenses and stuff. Obviously, the channel is supported mostly by viewers like you. Because we
this is
don't.
Your PBS Minute with Captain Logan.
That's right, and that's because ad revenue is not what it once was, and it's certainly no pressure to anybody. We appreciate you just watching, but it's a thing I want to mention every now and again, just in case you're wondering how in the world we managed to keep this crazy thing running, and if you do decide to help us out in any financial way whatsoever, we are eternally grateful. Okay, what else?
Okay, first of all, I got to point out, T-Edge1 pushed us right over the line.
Thank you.
He was able to do it. He used the exact number of letters that it would take to just do $2, so he pushed us right to the edge, and he says, Cap, look out, it's the welder.
There he is.
So that was pretty good, well done.
Oh, I'm sorry, was I supposed to duck? Look out! So the welder is kind of scary just with his mask off. He's the scariest when he's actually welding.
Yeah. Well, he's scarier without it on. Like with the great wheel down.
You don't want to meet him in a back alley while welding.
All right. We have 9 super chats left, not counting that one. So I'm going to speed through these. Here we go. Okay. Cody Barron gave us the biggest one of the night, $14. Which M. Night Shyamalan movie do you think is the best? I personally love Signs and Unbreakable.
Unbreakable's mine. I've admittedly, and Split's a close second. I know a lot of people don't like Split. I like it. And I agree with all the flaws anyone's ever brought up with that movie. I still really like it, so deal with it. And then, Sixth Sense is fine. It's not a movie I feel the need to ever sit through again. I never cared for Signs. I liked the first half of that movie, and I thought it kind of fell apart. But I haven't seen it since it was out. That was a million years ago. So maybe I would feel differently if I watched it again now. And then beyond that, I heard nothing but bad things about most stuff he made, so I didn't bother watching them. So.
Utali says Glass isn't your favorite, Cap?
Nope. Glass doesn't even have the Jurassic House thing for me. That's a hard movie to sit through.
All right. T-Edge1. I went to my 10-year high school reunion on the 5th. Did you guys go to any of your reunions, and what was your experience? Also, how is the new house? You guys rock.
So the new house we've not closed on yet, so it's gonna be a little while before we can get in there. But you'll get to see pictures of it here in just a little bit, because you guys were cool enough to get us over the goal, and I don't even know if that goal was cool enough for the goal number. But you guys are great, and we'll do that in just a few minutes. But anyway, I've not been to any of my high school reunions. Nope, did not do that.
Yeah. I don't think I've had any. My 10 year is next year, so.
Some schools will do a 5. but some of them I think start at 10. And let's see, I graduated in 03, so yeah, my 15th would have happened already if they do it every 5 years. Which is crazy, by the way. It makes me feel like an old person. I've been married 11 years. I've been with my wife 16 years. And graduated high school for 15 years. Yeah, so half my life almost, which is nuts. But anyway,
that's crazy.
I have not been to my high school reunion. There are, I think the thing for me is there are folks I went to high school with that I just don't know if I want to see if they happen to be there. Like I think I have that. Including,
Utala asks, maybe you'll see the girl you kissed, Cap, if you went.
Actually, she I keep up with a little bit. She and I are still friends, so yeah.
Oh, then we should stop talking about this.
It's not a big deal. She'll never see this, probably. Oh, I say that. I know she occasionally watches. At the very least, she has responded once or twice to things I posted on the Geek Fusion Facebook group. But she's very few people I still keep up with from high school. She's one of them. And anyway, I don't feel the need to talk anymore about that. But it's a weird show.
I am loving the show so much.
I should have done this when I was in immense pain. Why not? All right.
Christian Ogden, another super chat. Did people confuse not liking the early DC's plan with them not having a plan? In WB's defense, they did announce all those movies they wanted to make.
Yeah, I don't think the issue was that people didn't like the plan. I think the issue was that people didn't like the way it was being executed when movies started coming out, right? Like, I don't think it's fair to even say that we knew what their plan was beyond movies they had announced. I mean, I didn't hear a lot of people screaming like, you know what the problem with Warner Brothers is? They announced a Cyborg movie. I mean, you heard people say, I don't care about that, but I don't think you heard anybody be like, oh man, it's going to be a train wreck. They announced Cyborg and Flash. It's ridiculous. There certainly was, don't get me wrong, there was criticism of doing BVS right away before you did a solo Batman movie or before you did another Superman movie. There was criticism of trying to like shoehorn in Justice League into that movie and into the title. I was one of the people that was very outspoken about that. But I was willing to ride the wave and see if they had something until Snyder's vision turned out to be bizarre and didn't seem to be really the right way to go. So yeah, I don't know if it was the plan so much as just when we started seeing it executed.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of people that were down on the fact that they were doing Justice League so early, but that didn't have to be a problem.
I think they could have won us all over on that. And I've said a bazillion D times that Justice League could have opened with Justice League. They could have done Man of Steel and then done Justice League, introduced all those characters before they did solo films, and done the backwards thing from Avengers. And it might have been kind of smart if it was executed well, because what you end up with that is getting to the big thing that made Marvel so successful in the first place while not looking like you're copying them.
Yeah.
Could have been genius if only it was handled right.
And I agree with that, but I've heard a lot of people who were saying that beforehand say after the fact, like, see, it was terrible, so that's why it was terrible, because they didn't do it. They didn't build it up, but that's not why it was terrible.
Right. I don't see that argument. Yeah. Justice League is hardly a movie. It is a cobbled together hodgepodge. It's amazing that it holds together even as well as it does.
It's an average episode of like a TV show, of like one of the 90s TV shows. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and not quite as good as most of that.
Yeah.
Except for certain scenes. And the biggest thing they won me over on in that was the thing I least cared about, which was Cyborg. I really like their Cyborg. That's bizarre. I don't necessarily need him to be a member of the Justice League, but I also think that they kind of made a case for it.
Yeah.
I would love to know who actually wrote those scenes. That could have been Whedon stuff. That could have been Snyder stuff. I have no idea. I'd really like to know who did the Cyborg parts of that, because I liked them.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that since the theaters, actually. It's crazy.
I mean, I can totally understand that.
Back Studios recommend.
Hey, everybody, here comes Eric. He's walking by. There he go, and he's gone. He's gone. Anyway.
Bag Studios. A lot of people asking if he's coming with you, by the way. But Bag Studios says, gives us a super chat. I think so.
I don't think he's going to manage to get a place that quickly, but maybe I don't know yet. He'll probably be with us for at least a little while.
Cool. Put him in the bunker.
No,
the unfinished bunker.
We're not doing that.
All right. Beg Studio asks he does a quote, but I can't really do it because my voice is. I can't do any kinds of impressions right now. Maybe you can do it. He says, "Cap DJ,
what is it?
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Want to get nuts? Come on,
let's getting nuts. This is a weird show.
No, I've done that. There's precedent for that. I've done that lots of times. Can I do my favorite bit from that movie?
Sure.
Since we're apparently just quoting stuff, I really appreciate you giving me permission all the time.
I don't know why you ask.
I'm only laughing on the outside. My smile is just skin deep. If you could see inside, I'm really crying. You might join me for a weep. That's my favorite.
The whole Have You Ever Danced with the Devil in Pale Moonlight? Is that from that movie, or is he quoting something?
I think it's just from that movie. I don't think they pulled that from anything. It sounds like it's something they have to have pulled from somewhere, but if it is, I don't know.
I was listening to a song the other day, and they mentioned that, but it wasn't his voice. They had that quote in the song, but it wasn't his voice. I don't know if they were pulling it from something, or if they were referencing that. It doesn't seem like a band that would be into Batman, so it's really weird. It's kind of like a creepy. I don't know. I was listening to it because I was trying to get in the Halloween mood. So I don't know. Maybe we should look that up.
We should look that up.
But anyway, that's a tangent.
Yeah. No, interesting.
TH1 already got to you. Bag.
Thanks, buddy.
And Lightning City.
Hey, Bag. What's up, buddy?
Lightning City asks, you guys wear a shirt
Lightning City
/ underwear when you go swim? No, I do not.
You just got to get into all the personal questions tonight. I don't either. I've never swam in a t-shirt.
Or underwear either. That seems uncomfortable.
No, never done that either. Always worn swim trunks of some kind.
I don't even like the swim trunks that have like the netting underwear. That's uncomfortable to me.
Yeah. No, I don't prefer that either. I mean, I have worn that, but if I can get
away when I was younger, I used to wear those. But now that I'm an adult, I can buy the swim trunks I want.
Yeah.
I don't get those. That's weird. I mean, that's a great question. I enjoyed answering it.
I mean, so I guess some people, the people that do that, is it just because they're like, like insecure about their bodies, or do they just like does it just feel better to them to wear clothes when they swim? Like,
I don't know. My brother does it. My youngest brother does it. He wears a shirt. But yeah, I think it is just an insecurity thing.
I don't know.
I'm not a good swimmer, by the way. Can't swim, never learned.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. It's probably one of the only physical things I can do that you can't do.
I can swim in a straight line, but like if I try to stay still for more than 5 seconds, sink like a rock. Right to the bottom.
I'm not great at that part either, but I swim okay.
Yeah, I can't float.
I can back. Can you float on your back?
No, can't at all.
Oh, okay. That I can do. Okay.
Right down. I'm like a rock.
Okay.
Oh. It's a weird show. Dylan.
We should do the no geeky show. We do the show where nobody can ask us anything that we would usually talk about on the Captain Logan show.
Yes.
And see if anybody actually shows up for that.
Yeah. That'll be the show where we get 0 super chats. I'm not sure how to pronounce this gentleman's last name. Dylan
Muschiello.
Muschiello.
Well, that's how I've always pronounced it, and he's never corrected me. So if I've been saying it wrong, I've been saying it wrong for like 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Okay, well, there's an extra syllable in there. Mushitiello? I don't know. If Warner's continues with the Joker style.
I've been watching it this whole time. Oh my God, there is another eye. I never noticed the other eye. Sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe it's a silent eye. Who knows? If Warner's continues with the Joker style of films, what do you think of Lex movie with Tom Hanks?
I think Tom Hanks is a weird choice for Lex. I have a hard time seeing him as a bad guy. I'm not saying he couldn't do it. He's a real versatile actor, but that would be my first pick. I would like to see a movie with an older Lex, and I also think a Lex standalone film could be great. And you guys know how much I love that character. I ain't gonna say no to a Lex standalone film, especially if it's corporate mastermind master manipulator, Lex Luthor. I wouldn't be as excited about a Lex film without Superman at least like tangentially related, or like. It was also kind of weird to do a Joker movie, I guess, that was like an origin thing that had nothing to do with Batman. But like Lex, especially, it's like, well, at that point, that's just a rich guy in a suit. Like, you already basically have Lex Luthor in House of Cards and played by a man who has played Lex Luthor before, at least in the political side of it. But like, I love a President Lex movie where Superman is just in the background. I think that could be great.
Yeah, because he would have no reason to build. You have no reason to build like the big mech suit if there was no Superman.
Yeah, so and you can go understated, but like if his name is just his name is Lex Luthor and he's a rich person and he killed his parents in a tenement fire, but there's no Superman. Who cares?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't care that as much.
I love that every time I say tonight that I haven't done something, everyone says I should do it on camera. Anime 2019 says Cap and DJ should swim on camera.
Sure, I'll get one of those like sports cams that like you stick on your head or whatever for that one video. People told me forever I should get one of those. I'm like, you guys realize that all I shoot is myself sitting in a chair, right?
I have a GoPro. We'll do it when he comes here. We'll break into a pool, even though it'll be like the middle of winter if you come.
Break into a pool. We could swim indoors. We can find an indoor pool.
I guess we could. I don't know.
I don't know if anybody knows this. When I was in the best shape of my life, I was swimming every day, and I did that over the summer that my wife and I first started dating. So when I was like 19, and I swam every day for 3 months, and it was at an indoor pool.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much on the show.
Me too.
You're learning how much you're willing to tell about yourself.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm learning.
DJ,
right. do you have a little time to finish here? We're at an hour.
Yeah, we have 4 super chats left. We can do this.
Okay, let's knock them out, and then I will show you guys pictures of the house I'm hopefully buying.
Cap.
What?
Mr. Roboto says Cap 3 kids group costume ideas. Also, October 31st show.
That's gonna be on a Thursday. So if DJ can do a Thursday. We may do that, but otherwise we'll just do a Halloween Wednesday show because it's the day before Halloween. So, yeah,
but
we'll talk about it.
You have any ideas for 3 kids? 3 kids for Halloween?
I don't know.
I think he wants to like.
What does that mean?
He wants like. I'm assuming he has 2 friends and he wants like a group of, or maybe he has 3 kids that he wants like a costume for.
If they're girls, the Powerpuff Girls.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
Yeah. A lot of good things come in 3s, right? You could do
3 ninjas. 3 ninjas is amazing.
Okay.
That's 3 kids.
Because I have to keep ragging on DJ for not having seen The Matrix. I'm gonna say Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus. That works really well. And then you could be my kids. You could do Jason, Michael, and Freddy.
You could do Zod, Ursa, and
Non. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You could do the Trinity. You just do Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, could do that.
What other things come in 3s? You could do 3 of the turtles and say that the other one died.
When Donatello. Spoiler alert. I had to stop myself.
Because there's not a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff that comes in 3s, right? It's like Bebop, Rocksteady, and Baxter's Document. Bebop, Rocksteady, and Mouse or Robot.
That'd be a hard one to do. You could do Cap, Eric, and Dan. Someone asked earlier, I think it was Utale.
It's funny because they're children.
I don't even know how you address Cap, Eric, and Dan.
Well, I feel like I have a very caricaturable face. I think Dan's the hardest of the 3. I think Dan is the most like just regular looking guy. It helps that Eric and I both wear glasses and we both have really distinct hairstyles. And
beards really give you a distinct look. That's the same thing I have. I have no look. I'm just like generic white guy because I have no distinguishing features.
I want that Halloween costume. Generic white man.
Oh, man. But yeah, Cap, Eric, and Dan. Earlier, Mutale asked, who's a better friend, Eric or Dan?
I saw that. I skipped that one on purpose. I don't want to answer that. Yeah, because like any way I go, I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, right? I've spent more time with Eric because he lives here, but I think as far as I don't know, I think I'm as close to both of those guys. I think I am. I think I would. Those are two people that I would tell anything to. I'll say that. I'll go that far. I would confide in those guys. Anything I need to talk about. Very close.
I meant that as a joke, and he made it very heartwarming. So thank you.
And Vince says Vince Sonic, is in that Tails, place too. I feel that way about all three of those guys.
Yeah. Cool.
And DJ's good. DJ's a nice guy. I like DJ.
DJ's alright. He's a good moderator.
I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Rockman says Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
Ooh, that's a good one, Rockman. Yes, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Especially because they had that game in the early 2000s, Sonic Heroes, where you had to play as all three of them, and you flip them around, and you could be Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles as a triad, and you could be the Chaotix. It was three of the characters from Knuckles Chaotix. So like Vector the Crocodile, and I think Charmy B was one, and what was the other one? Espio. Why do I remember that? Anyway.
We got some good ones.
I would not recommend those three necessarily for the Halloween costumes. Batman, Robin, Batgirl. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
That's cool. Grim Death Griffin says Three Musketeers, Three Stooges, The Flash running really fast.
That's a good one. Oh, that's fun. You just all three dress in Flash costumes and just run around each other.
Or
Nightcrawler. The same person.
They could all be Nightcrawler, and they could be like set up everywhere, like multiple targets in X-Men.
Yeah, they could be Multiple Man.
Oh yeah,
Multiple Man. They could be the Clone Saga.
Oh man.
What are you guys going as for Halloween? Spider-Man: The Clone Saga.
The Clone Saga. Who would you be in the Clone Saga? Ben Reilly, Peter, and
yeah, it'd be Peter, Ben, and what's his face? The Jackal would be the third one.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
We were probably no help to you, sir, but I hope that was entertaining.
I know at least 3 or 4 of the things we said there are Halloween costumes on the racks for right now.
Yeah. Do you know what you're going to be?
I'm not dressing up this year, unless I dress up for the show. I may get a costume for the show.
Okay, cool. I think we're going to do like a Wizard of Oz thing because my son has a lion costume.
Oh, cool.
So I think I'm going to do the Scarecrow and my wife's going to be Dorothy, so. First time doing a family thing, obviously, because I've never done that before.
Are you up for dressing up for the program if we're doing a Halloween show?
Yeah, I can.
Because I'll put some kind of costume on.
I probably won't put on my Scarecrow costume because it's not really related to the unless I like somehow made it look like the Batman.
I mean, but you could. It wouldn't have to be channels. I mean, It's a Halloween costume. Like whatever.
All right,
it's cool. It's up to you if you want to do something different. Whatever. If I do that, I don't know what I'll be. I bought the other day, you can see it on Facebook, I bought a $2 plastic Spawn mask. I can't believe I found this. I
saw that, yeah.
I was at a Halloween store that it's not like a pop-up Halloween store. It's a magic shop that recently opened that's also doing Halloween costumes, and they had a bunch of backstock from somewhere, so like, they had Powerpuff Girl masks. But they also had an old Spawn mask, and a part of me wanted to buy them all out and come up with some reason to give those away. Yeah, I couldn't believe I found that. It's crazy. So if I ever finally do the Spawn Year sequel, I will incorporate that in some way. I already have. You
always have that Spawn suit you can wear. Dust it off.
Yeah, no, of course. But like, I want to do something with that crazy, silly plastic Spawn mask. Because it's the same kind of mask that we had for Tiny Ann West.
Yeah.
But it's Spawn, and I'm like, well, that's amazing. And so I want to do something with them.
That's cool. All right. This is way back when we were talking about The Matrix, but Malik Meyer says, speaking of The Matrix, thoughts on the series coming?
Yeah.
Also, DJ, you need to see the first movie. I've heard that. And then he thanks me for a thumbnail that I made for him. So,
I don't know what he means by series. I know there's a 4th movie in the works now. That has
been
that's what
he's talking about.
Confirmed. I don't know anything about a series.
There's technically 2 movies that are coming out. There's like a prequel and a sequel.
I didn't know about that. No. I know at one time there was talk about a prequel, but the only thing I've heard that's definitely happening is a sequel. And there was somebody that was cast today who I wasn't familiar with, and they didn't say what role he got, but somebody that's a major, probably a new character, an actor I'm not familiar with. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what to think about it yet. It's one of the Wachowskis directing and not both of them, which is interesting. And I think she's also writing it, but I'm not positive on that. And I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm gonna need more information before I can say how I feel about the project. It's, you know, I might have gone with a full-on reboot, which is a weird thing to say for me, but like that series got so convoluted and was just, you know, bad immediately after there were more. But I guess the nice thing about it is there's not any way to ruin it because it was already not good. So like they can't really mess it up too much more than it was already.
Apparently, Mutali says the guy who played Black Manta from Aquaman.
Oh, that's who that is.
Who was cast? Yeah.
Oh, cool, interesting. Okay, I didn't recognize him immediately from his picture, and I didn't know his name, so I didn't know who that was. But yeah, it's cool, sweet.
Cool, exciting stuff. I'm really excited about the fourth Matrix movie, guys. Mr.
He's
Roboto.
only going to see that. He's not even going to bother with the original trilogy.
Yeah, there's no need. Cap, if you need, this is from Mr. Roboto. Cap, if you need the help, Pennyworth at your service.
Thanks.
And then this was after we reached the $75. We got one from Media League. I don't know that name right offhand. Media League.
I think I've seen Media League before.
A couple times.
But welcome.
All right, this is I don't know if this is spoilers. It's about Joker, so if you haven't seen it, I'll let you know if it's spoilers. Apparently, in Joker, he says this. In Joker, if Arthur is so mentally ill that he imagines entire relationships or scenarios, doesn't that take some of the punch out of the idea that society made him a monster?
That's interesting. I'm gonna say no, because part of I want to be careful not to give away too many spoilers because that movie hasn't even been in the theater for a whole week. But I think the background that leads him to such an extreme mental condition can potentially be said to be part of that already, if that makes any sense at all. So I mean, like, you have an already disturbed individual who is being affected by society. Like even if that's true, even if I can grant you that, if Gotham is not in as bad a shape as it is and you don't have the kind of social class warfare that you have, a guy that disturbed couldn't have gone as far as he does in that. So at least for the social commentary that's in that film, I don't think that is ruined by the fact that we have an unreliable narrator and a guy who is hallucinating some of the things that you see in the film. This is a great question.
Yeah, and a weird one for this show that was been nothing but silliness pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to go to work again.
Thanks for grounding us.
Is that all the Super Chats?
That is the last one.
Okay, cool. I want to answer a couple more things real fast that I'm seeing here to not shaft pre-written stuff and because I want to. Mutale, Cap, which is more depressing, Joker or Logan? Had more emotional investment in that character because he'd been on film for 20 years, so I have to say Logan. I think Joker is certainly a more disturbing film. I mean, they're doing different things. But yeah. Logan, I had a hard time sleeping the night after I saw that. I didn't have that with Joker. So I have to call it that. And then Dagon Spear keeps asking this. Thoughts on Kevin Conroy apparently playing Bruce Wayne in CW Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Tom Welling and Erica Durance and Brandon Routh. So Brandon Routh, I think we've talked about here. We've known that for a good long time. His costume is Bossa Nova. I'm so excited about that. It looks great. It's like 10 times better than the suit that he wore in Superman Returns, and it's a CW show. So those shows have made some great costumes. They've also made some not so great costumes, but that is, and they've cut corners before where they'll take an old costume and just paint it differently. That has happened before. Oh yeah, one of the Flash sidekicks they did that with, and it looked fine until somebody showed me a side by side, and I was like, oh my god, they cheated! It's amazing. But yeah, he's got the Kingdom Come suit. I think a lot of people were really surprised to see that because they were like, oh my god, he's playing Kingdom Come Superman. We actually knew that already. That was reported. But it's cool, and it's the coolest color palette for the red and blue that I've seen in a long time. Anyway, that's pretty cool. It's neat that they finally got Tom Welling. Fans have been asking for that forever. I can't get super excited about any of the casting choices because I expect all of them to be on screen for 6 seconds. So,
yeah, there's no way they can all get screen time.
Nobody's gonna really get any screen time, I don't think. It will be cool to get to see some cameos, and I hope they do, as much as they can with them. The one that I can't help but be excited about, even if she is only on screen for 6 seconds, I don't think I've gotten to talk about this yet, is Birds of Prey Huntress. We are getting her. That's super cool. They are roping in Birds of Prey into that multiverse. It's on for 13 episodes. Most people haven't watched it. Show I liked a lot. I love their Huntress. She's great. I'm excited to see that actress again. I haven't seen her in anything since that show. I don't even know what she looks like now. It's 15 years later. I haven't seen her in anything. And it's really cool they got her. So that's exciting for me, even if she is only on screen for 6 seconds.
Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of having all these really cool cameos if you announce them all?
Yes. Yes, it does.
So cool if there's like all these people you've known.
You'd be totally overwhelmed, yeah. Yeah, we were told about Burt Ward in, like, the first wave. Like, don't tell us about that. That's so cool. I'm sure he's not wearing a Robin suit. It will be nuts, though, if we have a 75-year-old Burt Ward wearing a Robin costume. It'd be amazing.
It kind of, I get it's working, though, so we can't fault them for their marketing because people that don't even watch that show are going to watch this, so.
Yeah. I don't know how not to. Because it's just on principle. It's too many characters and actors I like.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my job is over.
Yeah.
The questions.
Well, thanks everybody. I sure appreciate the super chats. Thanks for getting us over the goal. Thanks for all the other questions, and I'm sorry if we didn't get to you with the pre-written, but it was a big super chat night, and if you didn't get your question answered, try to pop back next week if you can, and ask it, assuming we have a show next week. I'm going to really try. I just have so much going on. I'm going to be in limbo, so like I said, everybody's got to kind of bear with me a little bit if you don't mind. And now I'm going to show you guys a few pictures from the new house. I'm going to show you every room or anything, but just a smattering. Once again, there is the potential, the very small potential, that this doesn't go through and we don't end up actually getting the house I'm going to show you. DJ, I'm going to have to cover you up for a minute.
All good,
in order to show this. But this is the house on the outside. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty.
Hey, nice yard.
Can you see it? Yeah, it's a nice big yard. It's not too steep of a driveway. That's a big deal breaker for me. So that's good. It's a 2-car garage, real big garage. It's 2 levels plus a basement, which I've not had before, so I'm excited about that. We're going to go right into the basement. So, this basement is way bigger than I ever thought we'd be able to get, which is really exciting for my needs. Like I said, it's unfinished. We're going to keep it unfinished. It's going to be the bunker. Okay, hold on. This is not going in any kind of order, which is great. This brick wall is
like a backdrop.
Really interesting.
It's like a built-in backdrop.
Yeah, this is where my desk is going to go.
That's awesome.
My plan is to shoot here, so you will see the Captain Logan show from this, and well, actually, like on the Captain Logan show, you'll see whatever's behind me this way probably. But when we shoot, like how we felt about it and stuff like that, my desk will go there, so you'll see the monitors, and then the superhero movie collection will be somewhere in here. I'm probably not going to put a bunch of stuff on the wall like I usually do. It's probably just going to mostly be that wall, just for kind of the flavor of it. And this is another part of the basement. This is a real big basement. Let me get some other sides of it. So this will be the rest of the Batcave. So, or of the Batcave portion of the bunker. So over here is where that nook was that you guys just saw, and then all across here will be like display cases and things of all my Batman stuff. And then this area is going to be the comic vault. Obviously, I'm going to raise it off the ground as much as I can in case we ever have a flood down here. That'd be bad. But I'm going to put the comic vault back here and probably the Tick stuff. And then there's even another area in the basement that I don't think I put the picture in here for, where the Star Trek wing will probably go. This is the living room. Really cool room. I'm really excited about the high ceilings. I've always wanted that.
Fireplace, that's cool.
Yeah. This is the upstairs. There's the kitchen. And then the yard's real cool. It's got a real big porch. So I've got so I'm gonna have seating just built in. This porch needs some work, but it's a real cool looking like wraparound deck. Just keeps going. Just look at it, DJ. It just keeps going.
I know that porch. I was looking at the pictures when you sent them to me earlier. That porch is awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Super jealous of the porch.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think that's everything I put in here to show you guys. But yeah, so DJ, can you believe the space we're gonna have for the Geekvolution stuff? Like, it's really exciting.
I know, it's gonna be so cool. I can't believe it's gonna be the whole basement.
Yep.
No kitchen down there anymore?
No. There is a freezer down there. I'll probably put a mini fridge and a couple things, but yeah, I won't have the kitchenette. There's some stuff I have down here that I won't have there that's a little bit of a bummer, but it'll be all right. The biggest question is going to be acoustics, right? Because I'm not going to finish it. And so the question is, with that look, can I get away with a little bit of echo when I'm on camera? But then where do I shoot rewind? Because I'm not going to want the echo with that. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to like build like a booth.
Recording studio, yeah.
Yeah, with soundproofing. I may have to do that. Yeah. But like, should I have that for the live shows and for other on camera shows, or because of the aesthetic, should I let that echo happen? It's a question.
I don't know.
But we'll test things and try it out. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, people keep asking about Eric again. He's gonna live in a different place in the house if he moves with us. Which will be nice for me because I'll be able to record at like 3 in the morning again when I need to. Which is difficult to do with Eric in the basement because he has to get up early in the morning and he's right behind me. So I can't shoot stuff when he's sleeping.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. That's cool.
So it'll be really nice to have that again. But anyway, okay. Anything else that we need to talk about, DJ? Are we good?
I'm not seeing anything.
Well, everybody, thanks a ton for watching the Captain Logan Show. Really hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. This is a fun, weird show. Did you have a good time, DJ?
Absolutely, man. I missed this. It was great.
I want you to be like, nah, it sucked.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Just talking about you kissing girls the whole time.
It's the whole show. There was a whole we didn't even bring it up. There was a whole section where people in the comments were asking more about that, and it was really funny. Really? Yes, there were other things. Yeah.
Hey, next show, Captain Logan Show, Cap's Love Life. I'll make the thumbnail, and it's going to be next week. Tune in.
We should probably save that for Valentine's Day. I mean,
yeah.
Should be the Valentine's Day show. Oh yeah, I didn't mention the Kevin Conroy thing. We've talked about that before. It'll be interesting to see him play that in live action. For the 6 seconds he'll be on screen.
Carl Maxey says, "Where will DJ stay?"
I'm thinking in Georgia.
Yeah, I have a house.
That he also just got recently. Are you liking your house? Are you happy there?
Oh, it's fantastic. Love it.
It's kind of neat that we're both doing that real close at the same time.
Yeah, I'm real sympathetic to all the craziness that you're going through right now.
Because it was not that long ago that you got. Now, were you renting a place, or did you also have to sell a house to get your house?
No, thank goodness, I was just renting.
Oh, okay. But you own this one, right?
This one, I do.
Okay, so if you ever move again, you'll have to go through the thing I'm going through.
Yep, which I definitely will. I'm not going to stay here forever.
Okay, so is that sort of a starter house for you, or do you just have plans to like just move every few years, regardless?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't imagine we'll be here forever, but it's definitely big enough for us to stay here forever. It's really nice. We got a room we got a Cap room.
That's exciting. Hey, I'm one of those.
We have a guest room, but Cap can stay, and anyone else can stay.
I was supposed to go to DJ's house last weekend, for anybody that doesn't know about that, and because of my health thing, I decided it wasn't smart to drive just in case that flared up again, and I'm glad I didn't, because it did. The day I would have been driving was the worst day I had that weekend, so it was really good that I didn't go. I'm sorry. I know we're late. Can I tell a story real quick?
Sure.
Do you mind? Can I? Is it okay? I don't want you to get mad at me because I know we're about to leave. But DJ, you guys can't tell. He gets really angry. He does. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He does not. Okay.
I'm a nightmare to work with. I'm like the Edward Norton of Geekvolution.
So this is. Don't tell me it didn't happen. It happened.
I'm like as soon as we stop the stream, like, get this jacket off of me, like Mysterio from Far From Home.
This stupid costume up. Okay, so this has nothing to do with geeky things, but I gotta tell you guys this story. So One of the many reasons that I didn't go see DJ this last weekend is because it felt like I was having car trouble, but I wasn't sure what was wrong with it. There was some kind of rattling, rumbling thing that was happening under my feet. I hit a speed bump at the flea market that I have a booth at, and I'd never hit the speed bump before. I've been in the parking lot 1,000 times. I didn't even know that speed bump was there, right? I hit it, and right after I hit it, and for the next 2 weeks, which is way longer than I should have kept driving the car, there was this weird rattling that got worse when you were just coasting. And then if you were accelerating, you couldn't hear it, right? And it was also more rumbly on the highway. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I should probably get it looked at. But it wasn't like encumbering my driving, and I wasn't sure if it was serious or not. I drove on it too long. I finally took it a couple weeks later to, I think I actually drove on it 3 weeks. I took it to Tires Plus, right? And I don't mean to throw this company under the bus, but I gotta tell this story because it's hilarious. So I went to this. I should have just said a tire store. But I went to this place, and I got my oil changed, and I asked them to look at whatever was going on with my car. And the guy behind the counter, when I got back, said that he had someone drive it, and they couldn't hear anything. And I was like, there's no way. It's like, it's really loud. There's no way. And he's like, is it kind of like intermittent? I'm like, no, it's not. It's like, every time you drive it, I'm like, with respect, that's not possible. Did the guy actually drive it? And the guy goes, yeah. And he gets a little bit indignant on me, and he looks at me and he goes, he knows what he's talking about. He's been doing this for 25 years. And
hearing things? He's been hearing things for
no. He's been doing the job for 25 years. He's like if he says there's a, and then he looked at it like he couldn't hear anything, and so he checked the car, he couldn't find anything. He's like, and the guy was like, he knows his stuff. If he didn't find anything, it's probably fine. And I was like, I don't see how. You're basically telling me this is normal, and that I'm paranoid, and that any other car I get into is gonna have this rattling, and I'm pretty sure there's such a thing as a smooth ride, right? So my wife, a week later, and I drove on it, and I should not have driven on it. A week later, because we just didn't have time to take it in anywhere. I've got 3 kids. We didn't have time. She takes it to the dealership, and it takes them like, once they get to the car, it takes them like 15 minutes to fix it. But like they figured out, they did fix it, and they said it's a really good thing you finally got it here, and that you didn't take it on the highway, because you had a loose wheel and it was about to fly off.
What? That's crazy.
Wheel somehow hitting that, and he said that shouldn't have happened, and you should keep an eye on the car because there's no reason that should have happened. When I hit that, pardon me, that speed bump, it loosened the lug nuts, the wheel.
And they didn't check the lug nuts? That's the first thing a tire place should check, is the stinking lug nuts.
And so I looked at,
I know about cars.
Looked at my wife on the way home, and I said, so it's kind of a problem when the folks at the tire place can't diagnose a wheel, right? Like, they should just change the name of the store to Tires. Like, what's on the plus side? Tires plus what exactly? Like, seems like all you do is tires.
It should be tires minus.
Specifically, that's it. Just tires. I'm really lucky that didn't fly off. That would have been really bad. And then Brandon told me about all the ways it could have blown up the engine.
Jeez Louise. I also had a crazy tire problem this week, or Friday, actually. Yeah, but I mean, it's a long story. Wow. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. My story was too long, but I want to tell you guys about that.
No, that's crazy.
Mostly just to tell the they should just change the name to Tires joke. Just couldn't believe that. It's fine now.
Thank goodness. I'm really, really glad you didn't come, because I would have felt terrible if all of this stuff happened at the same time.
Oh, could you imagine that? Like my side's killing me while my wife is emailing me paperwork I have to sign while we're trying to sell our house over the weekend. Because the day I would have driven down is the day that we sold our house in one day. Like, it would have been the worst weekend to come down. Your tire blows off. You're writhing on the side of the road with your side. It would have been terrible. Can you imagine? So I'm really lucky. Thanks a lot for watching the Captain Logan Show, everybody. I'm Captain Logan. This was DJ Martinez. And we'll see you again next Wednesday night. Hopefully, same cap time, same cap channel, with a brand new microphone and probably geekier topics. Once again, I was Captain Logan saying good night. Good night.